Hey there, how's it going today? Thanks for joining me. I was thinking about, a year ago where I was at when I was doing, maybe you are as well, pre-COVID, pre-pandemic. In my space, working in community development, I do a lot of resident engagement sessions. And what that used to mean, and I think will again very soon, is doing community meetings, meeting with folks out in the neighborhood, addressing issues and topics. And then moving into maybe some one-on-one sessions, things like that. Well, that really hasn't been happening, obviously, with COVID. And I got to be honest, I miss it. I miss the crowds. I miss being out there in the neighborhoods, being amongst folks, getting from them what they think, what they feel, what their concerns are, and then working on building a program around that to address those things and make things go right and go well for them, and to deliver the project with them and for them. And, we've had to adjust, obviously. In my work, in some locations, I'm still doing one-on-one sessions, socially distanced, obviously, talking through masks. And that makes things a little challenging. We have to repeat things get lost in translation. But the large meetings aren't really happening. Zoom, Teams, other kind of virtual platforms are being used, written content's being used. Unfortunately, some of it's just not happening at all. There's some laziness out there with simply writing out a quick paragraph and sending it out to everybody and say, hey, we're doing this. And that's the extent of it, which is obviously it's not fair to anybody that's involved in the project, and it's not enough. So I think, we've had to adopt more tools and put more effort into that process than maybe we did before. And I think some of that's going to endure, fortunately. As much as I think there's been some laziness, I think there's also been some realization that these conditions may very well be with us for a while. It's going to take some time to build confidence in the engagement process back. And I think we've discovered that some people just prefer it. They just prefer to get some written literature, have access to some video, and kind of have their own audience in their own way. And I think that's great. I think many posts ago, I talked about you got to figure people out because they don't come with an instruction manual. And that extends to how you communicate with them. And so the more channels, the more tools, the better. And it doesn't really require that much more effort. A couple of ideas that have worked for me on projects that I've been managing and have set up or just provided oversight for is do the virtual meetings, use Zoom or Teams or whatever works in the community. Have somebody taking notes on what's said, both being presented, but also the questions that are raised by those who do attend. And then put that into a kind of a short booklet, if you will, or newsletter style, recap the meeting, and put people's pictures in it. The staff that's involved, the team that's involved in the process, some links. Understandably in lower income communities, even though a lot of folks do have access to mobile devices, they don't always have access to the minutes and have the time, the just sort of unlimited data to scroll through and reread stuff. So you have to be conscious of that, but it's another channel, right? So doing a well thought out and a concise booklet on what was talked about, the questions and those responses, put pictures in so people can kind of personalize it and feel like you're there with them a little bit, and then give links to where they can also pull additional information. And by all means, you got to be available, folks. You got to be available by phone. You have to figure out some way to maybe get some FaceTime with them that's not electronic. And so that could be meeting one-on-one in the office, distance, or set it up if you're in an area that has, pretty good climate. I'm in Arizona, even though it's kind of cold today. We're able to do that. Other states in the Rocky Mountain West have their moments where you actually can meet with people outside one-on-one. So you got some fresh air and some distance. All those things are important, because the the work has to continue. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of housing to fix. There's a lot of neighborhoods that need some reinvigoration, especially after this pandemic is resolved. There's going to be some things that kind of lay in the wake of that, already are, unfortunately. And so the work it has to continue, and the outreach has to continue now. The effort has to be there to do things in more than just one channel. And kind of accepting, even though I like getting out with the crowd, accepting that some of those crowds may just be smaller even once people are vaccinated. They themselves have figured out there's a different way to get information. So be flexible, stay nimble, add more channels. If there's something you think I could do to help you out, by all means, reach out to me by phone, by email. Go to revivaldevelopmentservices.com, and that information's there. Look me up on LinkedIn, or better yet, here's the email: Chad, C-H-A-D, at revivaldevelopmentservices.com. Thanks for watching. Hope to talk to you soon.